Ladies and gentlemen, we all face moments in life when the path ahead seems uncertain, when the obstacles in our way feel insurmountable, and when the weight of the world is pressing down on our shoulders. In these moments, many of us look for answers, for a way out, or for anything that can bring us the strength to keep going. And while the world may offer us countless solutions, there is one answer that transcends all of them. It is the power of putting something higher than ourselves at the center of our lives. When we choose to put something greater than ourselves first, we unlock the deepest reservoirs of strength, wisdom, and resilience that we didn't even know we had. Putting God first is not just a religious phrase, it's a transformative way of living. It is about aligning your actions with a higher purpose, understanding that there is something greater than you at work in the universe, and allowing that understanding to guide your decisions, your mindset, and your way of being in the world. It's about stepping outside of the chaos of the world and grounding yourself in the truth that you are part of something much bigger. When we decide to put God first, we are essentially saying that our lives are not just about us. We are recognizing that we are part of a greater plan, and that plan is much larger than our immediate desires, our short-term goals, or our current struggles. The minute we choose to live with this awareness, we step into a new realm of possibility where the impossible becomes possible, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and where our lives take on a new sense of purpose and direction. The act of putting God first is not simply about words, it is about how we live every single day. It's about the choices we make, the priorities we set, and the way we treat others. When we put God first, we align our lives with values that reflect love, kindness, compassion, and integrity. We make decisions based not on fear, selfish ambition, or immediate gratification, but on the understanding that there is a greater purpose guiding us towards something far greater than we could ever imagine. Too often, we become distracted by the noise of the world, the demands of our jobs, the pressures of our relationships, the pursuit of material success. We chase after things that, in the grand scheme of life, don't really matter. We let fear and doubt dictate our actions. But when we put God first, we begin to see that the true measure of success is not found in external accomplishments or possessions, but in the peace we find within ourselves, the love we give to others, and the impact we have on the world around us. Putting God first means choosing to live with faith, even when the world tells us to doubt. It means trusting in a higher power when we can't see the road ahead, knowing that even in our darkest moments, we are never truly alone. There is always guidance, always a hand reaching out to us, always a plan that we may not yet understand, but that will ultimately lead us to the life we are meant to live. One of the most powerful aspects of putting God first is the ability to release control. We live in a world where we are constantly trying to control everything: our careers, our relationships, our finances, even the outcomes of our personal growth. But the truth is, we are not in control of everything. There are forces beyond our comprehension, and there is a divine plan unfolding that we may not fully understand. When we put God first, we stop fighting against the flow of life. We release the need for control and trust that what is meant for us will find its way to us. This doesn't mean we sit back and do nothing. It means we take inspired action, knowing that we are co-creators with something greater than ourselves. When we put God first, we also learn to be more present in each moment. So often we are caught up in the past, reliving old wounds and regrets, or in the future, anxiously waiting for things to fall into place. But the truth is, the only moment we truly have is right now. When we center ourselves on a higher purpose, we become more mindful, more aware, and more deeply connected to the present moment. We understand that each breath is a gift, that each day is a blessing, and that every experience, no matter how difficult, has a purpose. It is in this presence, this alignment with the divine, that we find the clarity to make better decisions and the peace to handle life's challenges. Putting God first also means choosing to forgive. It means letting go of the grudges, the bitterness, and the pain that we have been holding on to for far too long. It means understanding that we are not perfect, that we all make mistakes, and that holding on to resentment only keeps us stuck in the past. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the chains of anger and hatred. We make room in our hearts for love, compassion, and healing. We release the burden of carrying others' mistakes and allow ourselves to move forward with a clean slate. But perhaps one of the greatest gifts of putting God first is the peace that comes from knowing that we are exactly where we need to be. The world is constantly pushing us to be more, to do more, to have more. It tells us that we are not enough, unless we reach a certain level of success, wealth, or achievement. But when we put God first, we realize that we are enough just as we are. We are worthy, loved, and important regardless of our external circumstances. Success is not about meeting society's standards. It's about aligning with our own truth, living with integrity, and following the path that feels right for us. We stop comparing ourselves to others and start embracing the unique journey that has been laid out for us. Another incredible thing about putting God first is the shift it creates in our relationships. When we make God the center of our lives, we begin to see others through a different lens. We begin to understand that every person we encounter is also part of the same divine plan. We start to approach others with more empathy, more understanding, and more kindness. Our relationships become deeper, more meaningful, and more authentic. We are no longer focused on what others can do for us, but on how we can serve them, support them, and help them grow. And it's not just about our relationships with others, it's about our relationship with ourselves. When we put God first, we begin to see ourselves as worthy of love, respect, and kindness. We understand that we are not defined by our mistakes, our shortcomings, or our comings, or our past. We are defined by our potential, by the greatness that lies within us, and by the love we have for ourselves. It is only when we truly embrace our worth that we can fully embrace our purpose in life. There are going to be times when putting God first feels difficult. There will be moments when life seems overwhelming, when the challenges in front of us feel too great to bear. But it is in these moments that our faith is tested. It is in these moments that we are called to trust, to believe, and to surrender. It's easy to put God first when everything is going well, but the true power of faith comes when we put God first in our trials, in our pain, and in our suffering. It's in these moments that we discover just how resilient we are, how strong our faith is, and how much greater our potential is than we ever realized. So I encourage you today to make a commitment to put God first, to live with purpose, to live with faith, and to live with the understanding that you are part of something much larger than yourself. Know that when you align your life with something higher, everything else falls into place. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable will become stepping stones. The fears that once held you back will fade into the background. And the challenges that once seemed overwhelming will become opportunities for growth. Putting God first is not just a one-time decision, it is a daily practice. It's about making the conscious choice every single day to align your thoughts, your actions, and your heart with a higher purpose. It's about trusting that no matter what happens, you are exactly where you need to be, and that there is always a greater plan unfolding. When you put God first, you open yourself up to the incredible potential that lies within you. You step into a life that is full of love, abundance, and joy. You embrace the truth that you are never alone, and that, with faith, anything is possible. So commit today to put God first in every area of your life. Trust the process, embrace the journey, know that the best is yet to come. And remember, when you put God first, everything else will follow. The speech emphasizes the importance of putting something greater than yourself at the center of your life. By aligning with a higher purpose, you move beyond short-term goals and focus on long-term fulfillment and spiritual growth. It highlights the power of faith, trusting that a greater plan is at work in your life, even during challenging moments. By putting God first, you allow yourself to surrender control and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Putting God first leads to healthier, more meaningful relationships. It shifts how we see others and helps us approach life with greater compassion, empathy, and understanding, fostering a sense of connection and love. When you make God the center of your life, your decisions are guided by values like love, kindness, and integrity rather than fear or selfish ambition. This alignment with core values leads to a life of peace, satisfaction, and impact. The speech emphasizes that faith and putting God first provides strength during times of hardship. In moments of struggle, trusting in a higher power and embracing a sense of purpose allows us to find resilience, growth, and clarity. When we talk about aligning with a higher purpose, we are discussing more than just a general concept. It's about making a conscious decision to live your life in accordance with something greater than your own desires, ambitions, or the fleeting distractions of the world. In a world that often prioritizes material success, instant gratification, and personal gain, aligning with a higher purpose means stepping out of the cycle of self-interest and instead living for something that transcends your individual life. It's about tapping into something deeper, something that goes beyond your immediate needs and desires, and recognizing that there is a greater plan at work in your life. The concept of a higher purpose often starts with a question: what is the deeper meaning of life? It goes beyond the daily grind and the small things that consume our attention. It's about understanding that every action, every thought, and every decision can contribute to a greater whole. This might be the legacy you leave behind, the impact you have on others, or the way you live in harmony with the world around you. It's about seeing beyond the superficial layers of success and focusing on the deeper truths that guide your life. When you align yourself with this higher purpose, you begin to see that life is not just a series of random events. Each experience, whether good or bad, is part of a larger design, a bigger picture, and a divine purpose that you are part of. Aligning with a higher purpose means acknowledging that you are not the center of the universe, but that you are part of something much larger. It's recognizing that your life has meaning beyond your own achievements. It's about connecting with the world around you and understanding that every person you meet, every challenge you face, and every experience you have is a part of this greater purpose. This shift in perspective can be life-changing because it takes the pressure off of you to create meaning and success on your own. Instead, it helps you tap into a flow that is already in motion, a flow that is guided by something greater than yourself. This flow is not something that can be forced or manipulated. It is something that you allow yourself to be a part of. One of the most powerful aspects of aligning with a higher purpose is the sense of clarity and direction it brings into your life. When you have a purpose that goes beyond your personal desires, it provides a sense of guidance and a deeper understanding of where you are headed. Rather than being consumed by uncertainty or anxiety about the future, you are able to trust that your path is unfolding exactly as it should. You no longer feel lost in the noise of the world, distracted by the latest trends or the opinions of others. Instead, you have a clear sense of direction that guides every decision, every action, and every goal you set. This clarity comes from knowing that your life is not random. When you align with a higher purpose, you begin to see that there is a greater plan at work. Whether or not you can fully understand that plan in the moment, you trust that everything is happening for a reason. You are no longer swayed by the temporary setbacks or challenges that you face. Instead, you recognize them as opportunities for growth, learning, and preparation for the next step on your journey. This mindset shift allows you to approach life with a sense of peace, confidence, and resilience, knowing that everything you go through is part of the greater unfolding of your purpose. Aligning with a higher purpose also helps you navigate through life's toughest challenges. Life is not without its struggles. We all face moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. It's easy to become consumed by these feelings and to believe that they define us. However, when you align with something greater, you realize that these moments are temporary. They are not the end of your story, but rather opportunities for growth. By keeping your focus on the bigger picture, you are able to rise above the temporary struggles and see them for what they truly are, lessons that help shape and refine your character. When you face challenges, your higher purpose gives you the strength to persevere. It reminds you that you are not alone, that you are part of a larger plan, and that everything you go through is meant to help you grow and evolve. This alignment with a higher purpose also brings a deep sense of fulfillment. The world often measures success by external standards, money, status, power, or achievement. These things are fleeting and often fail to provide true fulfillment. When you are aligned with a higher purpose, your sense of fulfillment comes from within. It comes from knowing that you are living in accordance with your values, your beliefs, and your deepest truths. It comes from the satisfaction of knowing that you are contributing to something greater than yourself, that your actions and your life have meaning. This inner fulfillment cannot be measured by external standards because it is not dependent on the opinions of others or the material things you acquire. It is a deep inner knowing that you are living a life that matters, that you are on the path you were meant to walk. When you align with a higher purpose, it also changes the way you see the world. You start to see the interconnectedness of all things. Every person, every experience, and every situation becomes part of the greater tapestry of life. You begin to approach each encounter with more compassion, more empathy, and more understanding. You see the value in every individual and recognize the shared humanity that binds us all together. Rather than seeing others as obstacles or threats to your success, you see them as part of the same journey, each playing their unique role in the unfolding of the greater plan. This shift in perspective fosters more positive relationships and helps you create an environment of support, collaboration, and mutual respect. Aligning with a higher purpose also brings a sense of responsibility. When you understand that you are part of something greater, you begin to recognize that your actions have an impact on the world around you. You realize that how you treat others, how you show up in the world, and how you contribute to your community all matter. This responsibility is not a burden, but rather a privilege. It is the opportunity to be a positive force in the world, to make a difference, and to leave a legacy that will impact future generations. This sense of responsibility gives your life a deeper meaning and motivates you to live in a way that reflects your values, your beliefs, and your higher purpose. One of the most significant transformations that occur when you align with a higher purpose is a shift in your priorities. The things that once seemed important material success, external validation, or fleeting pleasures no longer hold the same weight. You begin to prioritize what truly matters: relationships, growth, contribution, and living authentically. Your decisions are no longer driven by fear or the need for approval. Instead, they are guided by a deep sense of alignment with your purpose, which helps you make choices that support your long-term well-being and fulfillment. This shift allows you to move away from the distractions and temptations of the world and focus on what truly brings you joy, peace, and meaning. Aligning with a higher purpose is not a one-time decision. It is an ongoing process of growth and evolution. It is about continuously reassessing your life and making sure that you are staying true to your values and your deepest truths. It's about taking time each day to reflect on your purpose and ensure that your actions are in alignment with it. This ongoing commitment to living with purpose helps you stay grounded and focused, no matter what challenges or distractions may come your way. It also allows you to adapt and grow, knowing that your purpose will evolve as you do. In the end, aligning with a higher purpose brings a sense of peace, fulfillment, and clarity that cannot be found through external success or material gain. It allows you to live a life that is authentic, meaningful, and true to who you are. It helps you navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience, knowing that everything you experience is part of a larger plan. And it connects you to something greater than yourself, reminding you that you are part of a larger tapestry of life where every thread plays an important role in the unfolding of the whole. When you align with a higher purpose, you tap into a wellspring of strength, wisdom, and peace that allows you to live a life that is truly extraordinary. Faith and trust in the process are essential components in our journey toward growth, success, and fulfillment. Life often takes unexpected turns, and there are moments when the path we are walking on becomes unclear. The challenges we face can make us question the very direction we are heading, and we may start to doubt whether we are truly moving forward or if we will ever reach our destination. In these moments, faith and trust become the guiding lights that keep us moving, even when we cannot see the full picture. When we put our trust in the process, we allow ourselves to surrender to the journey, knowing that every experience, every setback, and every triumph is part of a greater plan that is unfolding in its own time. To trust the process is to let go of the need for immediate results or control over every aspect of life. It is the understanding that not everything can be predicted, and not every step we take will lead us directly to our desired outcome. Yet, it is in this very uncertainty that growth happens. Trusting the process means accepting that the road may be long, that obstacles will arise, and that there will be times when things don't go according to plan. But through it all, faith in the process allows us to keep moving forward. It teaches us that our growth doesn't come from avoiding challenges, but from facing them and trusting that they are part of the larger design for our lives. Faith in the process also means having confidence in our own ability to navigate life's ups and downs. It is the belief that no matter what happens, we have the resilience and strength to handle whatever comes our way. It's about recognizing that we are capable of adapting, learning, and evolving as we move forward. The journey we are on is not about perfection, but about progress. Every step, no matter how small, contributes to our growth. When we trust in the process, we stop fixating on the immediate outcome and begin to appreciate the lessons we learn along the way. It's about embracing the idea that success is not always a straight line, but rather a series of steps, twists, and turns that lead us to where we need to be. In any relationship, boundaries are essential for maintaining a healthy dynamic. Transforming relationships involves understanding that healthy boundaries are not about building walls, but about creating space for both individuals to thrive. Boundaries allow us to protect our emotional, mental, and physical well-being while also respecting the needs and desires of the other person. Boundaries help to establish mutual respect and ensure that both parties feel valued and understood. Without boundaries, relationships can become toxic, draining, or one-sided. Healthy boundaries empower both individuals to show up as their true selves, knowing that their needs will be respected and that they have the freedom to express themselves without fear of judgment or violation. By setting and honoring boundaries, we create an environment of trust and safety, which is essential for transformation. One of the most profound ways to transform relationships is by shifting our perspective. Often the challenges we face in our relationships come from misunderstandings, miscommunications, or unmet expectations. However, when we change the way we view the other person, we open the door to greater empathy and compassion. Shifting our perspective means recognizing that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own struggles, and doing the best they can with what they have. When we approach relationships from a place of understanding rather than judgment, we create a space where both individuals can grow together. This shift in perspective allows us to appreciate the differences between us and to see the value in those differences rather than viewing them as obstacles. By embracing diversity and accepting the uniqueness of the other person, we create a stronger, more harmonious relationship that is built on mutual respect and understanding. In transforming relationships, it is also important to recognize the power of gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. It helps us appreciate the positive aspects of our relationships rather than focusing on the shortcomings or frustrations. When we express gratitude for the people in our lives, we strengthen the bond between us. Gratitude fosters positivity and reinforces the idea that we value and appreciate one another. It also helps us to shift our energy from negativity to appreciation, which in turn transforms the entire dynamic of the relationship. When we approach our relationships with a heart full of gratitude, we invite more love, joy, and connection into our lives. Consistency and effort are also key to transforming relationships. Relationships require ongoing effort and attention. They don't thrive on autopilot, and they don't stay strong without continual nurturing. Consistently showing up for the other person, being there when needed, and demonstrating your commitment to the relationship can make all the difference. It's easy to take someone for granted when they're always around, but it's the small, consistent actions that demonstrate your love and appreciation. These actions create a foundation of trust, reliability, and support. Over time, these small gestures add up and transform the relationship into something deeper, stronger, and more meaningful. Lastly, transforming relationships requires patience. Change doesn't happen overnight, and transformation takes time. Relationships are complex, and each person involved has their own unique needs, desires, and experiences. Transformation requires both parties to be patient with each other and with the process. It requires understanding that growth doesn't happen in a straight line and that there will be setbacks and challenges along the way. Patience allows us to weather the storms together, to embrace the ups and downs, and to trust that with time, the relationship will grow stronger. When we practice patience, we give ourselves and others the space to evolve, learn, and grow together. It's this patience that allows us to build relationships that stand the test of time. Transforming relationships is not about making everything perfect. It's not about expecting the other person to change, but about being willing to change ourselves. It's about showing up with love, empathy, and a willingness to grow. When we invest in our relationships and approach them with intention, they have the potential to transform into something extraordinary. The key to transforming relationships is understanding that they are not static, they are ever evolving, and with the right mindset, we can create relationships that are strong, supportive, and transformative for both parties involved. Living with integrity and purpose is the foundation of a meaningful life. It is about aligning your actions with your values and living in a way that is true to who you are at your core. Integrity is more than just honesty, it is about being congruent, authentic, and unwavering in your principles, regardless of external circumstances. Purpose, on the other hand, is the driving force that gives your life meaning. When you live with integrity, you are living in accordance with your values, and when you live with purpose, you are living in a way that reflects your true potential. Both integrity and purpose are key to building a life that is fulfilling and impactful. Living with integrity begins with understanding who you truly are. It requires self-awareness, an honest assessment of your values, and a deep understanding of what matters most to you. Without clarity about your values and principles, it is difficult to navigate the challenges and complexities of life. Integrity is not about following the crowd or doing what others expect of you. It is about making decisions based on what feels right for you. It means staying true to yourself, even when it is difficult or inconvenient. Living with integrity means that your actions match your words and your actions align with your inner truth. It's about being the same person in private as you are in public and standing firm in your beliefs, even when the world pressures you to compromise. One of the key components of living with integrity is being accountable. It's easy to point fingers and blame others when things go wrong, but true integrity comes from taking responsibility for your actions and decisions. Accountability means owning up to your mistakes, learning from them, and growing as a result. It means being transparent, honest, and vulnerable enough to admit when you have fallen short. When you take responsibility for your actions, you show others that you are a person of honor and character. This sense of accountability not only strengthens your own sense of self, but also earns the respect and trust of those around you. Living with purpose, on the other hand, is about having a clear sense of direction. Purpose gives you the fuel to keep going, even when life gets tough. It's the reason you get out of bed in the morning, the vision that drives you forward, and the passion that keeps you moving even when obstacles arise. Purpose is not just about achieving goals or attaining success, it's about living a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. It's about contributing something of value to the world, whether that is through your work, your relationships, or the way you treat others. Purpose gives you a sense of meaning that goes beyond short-term pleasures or material gains. It is about creating a legacy, making an impact, and leaving the world better than you found it. Purpose can manifest in many different forms. It might be a career goal, a personal mission, or a desire to help others. Your purpose might change and evolve as you grow, but it is always grounded in the desire to live in alignment with your values and to contribute to something greater than yourself. The key to living with purpose is to be clear about what matters to you and to make intentional choices that align with that vision. Purpose is not something that is given to you, it is something you create. It requires you to be intentional with your time, your energy, and your resources. When you live with purpose, you prioritize the things that matter most to you and make decisions that move you closer to your vision of the future. Living with integrity and purpose also involves making choices that support your long-term well-being. It's easy to get caught up in the moment and make decisions based on short-term desires, but true integrity requires you to think beyond immediate gratification and consider the long-term consequences of your actions. Purpose, too, is about thinking long-term. It's about having a vision for your life that extends far beyond the present moment. When you live with integrity and purpose, you make decisions that align with your values and contribute to your overall sense of fulfillment and happiness. This might mean sacrificing short-term pleasures for long-term growth, choosing to invest in your health, relationships, or personal development instead of seeking instant rewards. In addition, living with integrity and purpose requires the courage to say no to things that don't serve you. Life is full of distractions and demands on our time, and it can be easy to say yes to things that take us off course. But when you are clear about your values and your purpose, you can confidently say no to the things that are not aligned with your vision. Saying no doesn't mean being selfish or rude, it means honoring your boundaries and protecting your time and energy. When you live with integrity and purpose, you prioritize what matters most and are not afraid to turn down opportunities that do not contribute to your greater good. Another important aspect of living with integrity and purpose is developing resilience. Life is full of challenges and setbacks are inevitable. But when you live with integrity and purpose, you have a foundation that helps you bounce back from adversity. Integrity provides you with the internal strength to weather storms because it is rooted in your core values. Purpose, too, gives you the motivation to keep going, even when things are tough. With resilience, you can stay focused on your long-term goals and maintain your sense of integrity no matter what challenges you face along the way. There are times when it feels as though everything is working against us. We may face setbacks, failures, and challenges that make us question whether we are on the right path. In these moments, faith becomes the anchor that keeps us grounded. Trusting the process means understanding that setbacks are not failures, but rather opportunities for growth. Each challenge presents a lesson that we need to learn in order to move forward. Without these obstacles, we would not have the chance to develop the resilience, strength, and wisdom that are essential for success. Faith teaches us that even when things don't seem to be going our way, we are still moving forward, and the experiences we face are preparing us for something greater. Faith in the process is also about patience. In today's fast-paced world, it is easy to fall into the trap of wanting immediate results. We live in a time where everything is in our fingertips, and it can be difficult to understand that some things take time. Building success, cultivating meaningful relationships, or achieving personal growth doesn't happen overnight. It's easy to become frustrated when we don't see immediate progress or when things don't unfold as quickly as we would like. However, trust in the process means understanding that timing is everything. Some things need to marinate, grow, and develop before they can reach their full potential. When we trust in the process, we allow ourselves the grace to be patient with our journey, knowing that the results will come when the time is right. One of the most powerful aspects of faith and trust in the process is the freedom it gives us to let go of fear. Fear often comes from the need for certainty, from the desire to control every aspect of our lives. When we are uncertain about the future or unsure of our ability to handle what lies ahead, fear can creep in and paralyze us. We may hold back from taking risks, from stepping out of our comfort zones, or from pursuing our dreams because we fear failure or the unknown. Trusting the process allows us to let go of these fears. It reminds us that we don't need to have all the answers, and we don't need to control everything. Faith is about surrendering to the unknown and trusting that we are exactly where we need to be. When we trust the process, we free ourselves from the constraints of fear and embrace the adventure of life, knowing that whatever happens, we are prepared to handle it. This kind of trust also gives us the strength to keep going even when things get difficult. There will be times in life when we feel like giving up, when we think we are not making progress or that the road is too hard. But in those moments, faith in the process is what pushes us to keep moving forward. It reminds us that every step counts and every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. Success doesn't come from avoiding the tough times, but from pushing through them. Trusting the process means believing in our ability to overcome obstacles and knowing that with each challenge we are becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It's about looking at adversity not as something to fear, but as a teacher that will help us reach the next level of growth. Trusting the process is also about living in the present moment. Often we become so focused on the future that we forget to appreciate the journey we are on right now. We may get caught up in the idea of where we want to be, how we want to feel, or what we want to achieve. But the truth is that life is not just about the destination, it's about the journey itself. The lessons we learn, the people we meet, and the experiences we have along the way are just as important as the end result. Trusting the process means learning to enjoy the present, to appreciate the steps you are taking, and to see the beauty in the process itself. It's about understanding that everything you need is already within you, and that each moment is an opportunity to grow, learn, and evolve. There is also a sense of peace that comes with trusting the process. When we try to control every aspect of our lives, we create stress and anxiety. We worry about what will happen next, how things will turn out, or whether we are making the right decisions. But when we trust in the process, we release that need for control. We allow ourselves to flow with life, trusting that things are unfolding as they should. This sense of peace comes from knowing that we don't have to have everything figured out. We don't need to control the outcome. We can simply trust that we are exactly where we need to be and that everything is working for our highest good. There will always be moments of doubt, uncertainty, and fear in life, but when we trust the process, we shift our perspective. We stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. We stop focusing on what we don't have or what's not going right, and we begin to focus on the progress we've made and the lessons we've learned. Trusting the process is not about avoiding difficulties, but about recognizing that these difficulties are part of the process itself. They are part of what shapes us, teaches us, and helps us grow into the people we are meant to be. At its core, faith and trust in the process is about surrendering to the flow of life. It's about letting go of the need to control every outcome and instead allowing life to unfold in its own time. It's about trusting that no matter what happens, we are always moving in the right direction, even when it doesn't seem that way. It's about having the patience, the resilience, and the belief in ourselves to keep moving forward, knowing that the process is just as important as the destination. When we trust in the process, we step into a life of peace, purpose, and progress. And we begin to see that every step we take, every lesson we learn, and every challenge we face is part of the incredible journey that is shaping our lives. Relationships are the foundation of our lives, whether they are personal, professional, or even the relationships we have with ourselves. Every interaction, every connection, and every moment shared with another person has the potential to shape the direction of our lives. transforming relationships requires a shift in mindset, energy, and approach. It involves understanding that relationships are not just about what we receive, but also about what we give. When we truly understand the value of relationships and the role they play in our lives, we begin to see the possibility of transformation in every connection we make. Transforming relationships starts with the recognition that relationships are dynamic and ever evolving. They are not static, and they don't stay the same unless we actively invest in them. It's easy to take relationships for granted, to assume that they will thrive on their own without putting in the effort. But the reality is that meaningful, fulfilling relationships require nurturing, care, attention. Just as a plant needs water, sunlight, and nourishment to grow, relationships need time, effort, and mutual respect to flourish. If we want to transform our relationships, we need to start by taking responsibility for the role we play in them. The first step in transforming relationships is learning how to listen. Listening is one of the most powerful tools we have to create deeper connections with others. It is the foundation upon which empathy, understanding, and trust are built. When we listen to others, we are not just hearing their words, we are hearing their feelings, their thoughts, and their experiences. Listening with intent and without judgment allows us to fully understand the other person's perspective, which in turn strengthens the bond between us. In many relationships, we listen, but we don't truly hear. We may be too focused on our own thoughts, responses, or agendas to fully engage with what the other person is saying. However, when we make the conscious effort to listen actively, we create an environment of openness and respect that fosters deeper and more meaningful connections. Another crucial aspect of transforming relationships is learning how to communicate effectively. Communication is not just about speaking, it's about expressing ourselves in a way that is clear, honest, and compassionate. It's about finding the right words to convey our thoughts and feelings in a way that others can understand. Effective communication involves both speaking and listening, and it requires us to be present, mindful, and attentive to the needs of others. When we communicate with authenticity, we create an atmosphere of trust where both parties feel heard and valued. This strengthens the foundation of the relationship and allows it to grow and evolve over time. Along with communication comes the importance of vulnerability. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest strengths we can bring to any relationship. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open the door to true connection. Vulnerability means being willing to share our true selves, to expose our fears, our insecurities, and our desires. It's about being honest and transparent, even when it's uncomfortable. When we are vulnerable with others, we invite them to be vulnerable with us in return. This creates a space of mutual trust and understanding where both individuals can grow together. Vulnerability is not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about showing up as our authentic selves and allowing others to do the same. This is the foundation for genuine transformation in any relationship. Forgiveness is another key element in transforming relationships. Holding on to grudges, resentment, or past hurts only serves to create distance between us and others. It prevents us from moving forward and from experiencing the depth of connection that is possible. Forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior or forgetting the pain we have experienced. It is about releasing the emotional weight of the past so that we can create space for healing and growth. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the burden of negative emotions, and we allow the relationship to evolve into something more positive. Forgiveness is a powerful act of love, both for ourselves and for the other person. It creates an opportunity for reconciliation, understanding, and renewal. It allows us to let go of the past and embrace the possibility of a brighter future together.